Hi everyone, and welcome to 6.5/6.6 day 1. Today we are going to focus on rhombuses. So what makes a rhombus special? Well, a rhombus is a member of the parallelogram family. It is a parallelogram, but what makes it so special is it is a parallelogram with 4 congruent sides. So all of our properties of a parallelogram apply to our rhombus as well, but we also now can say that not only are the opposite sides congruent, all 4 sides are congruent. So beyond those parallelogram properties, again, all 4 sides of our rhombus are congruent. Another huge property here is that the diagonals are perpendicular. So that means that they are creating 4 right angles on the inside here. So we have those angles inside that equal 90 degrees. And then last but not least, we have the diagonals also bisecting each of the opposite angles. So these angles, these baby pieces, are congruent to each other. So angle HEG and FEG, and then angle HGE and FGE, as well as these little angles will also be cut in half. Now, again, all 4 little ones are not congruent to each other, but they are going to be opposite angles these would all be congruent, these 4 or these 4. And again, the diagonals are bisected. So these are the 3 extra properties that are very important to our rhombus that make it so special. So in our first example, we are asked to solve for x given the measure of UPT. Well, UPT is one of those angles inside here that we know are creating 90-degree angles because our diagonals are perpendicular. So this angle inside here, let me draw this a little nicer, is going to end up being a right angle. So we know that angle UPT, 4x plus 18, has to equal 90 degrees. So we can subtract the 18 from both sides, and then when we divide 72 by 4, x is 18. In our second example, they are asking us to find the measures of x and y. So notice the couple things they're giving us. They're giving us u to t, this side is 5x minus 3, t to a is 2x plus 9, and then they're giving us on the inside here, u to p is 2y minus 8, and p to a is 24. So again, one of the things that makes our rhombus so important is that all 4 of those sides now are congruent to each other. So u to t, 5x minus 3, has to equal t to a because all 4 sides are congruent. So in order to solve for x, we can start by subtracting 2x from both sides. 3x minus 3 equals 9. Add the 3. 3x is 12. So divide by the 3. X is 4 this time. Now, for TA, for the values of y, our diagonals are still being bisected like we had when we had a parallelogram. So 2y minus 8 has to equal 24. Add the 8 to both sides and divide by 2. Y would be 16. On the back page, they give us the measure of 2 of the baby angles. PAH is this baby angle here. PAT is this baby angle right here. We know that these 2 baby angles are going to end up being equal to each other because the diagonals bisect them. So subtract the 8x from both sides. Since it's smaller than 10x, add the 10 to both sides. We get 12 equals 2x. So x is 6 after we divide by 2. All right, now that fact is also going to help us in the beginning of our next example. So in this next example, notice they're giving us the measure of RST. This whole angle is 76, and they want us to find the measure of RSQ. this baby angle right here. Well, we know if that angle, big angle, is 76, we would have to divide it in half evenly to get the measure of each of our two small angles. Oops, not 76, 96 divided by 2. So we get a total of 48 degrees for each of these small angles if they have to both add up to be 96. So 48. Now, these last two examples I'm going to have you try on your own. The first one is giving you the measures of T to S and R to S. You are going to solve for X first and then plug back in to find QT. The final example is giving you the measure of TQS is 42, and they want you to find the measure of TQR, our whole angle. All right, to conclude today, we have a little bit of true-false to practice. Number 1 is asking us, is a rhombus always a parallelogram? The answer is yes. Going back to that first page, we said a rhombus is a parallelogram, has all of those properties, will always be one. Your diagonals of a rhombus, are they congruent? No, not necessarily. What they are going to be is perpendicular to each other, not necessarily congruent, which leads us then into the next one. Are the diagonals in them perpendicular? Yes, they create those right angles at the center each time. And then last but not least, if a quadrilateral is a parallelogram, then it is a rhombus. That's false. It may just be a parallelogram, or maybe it's a rectangle, not necessarily a rhombus. I have multiple options on that. Thanks everyone for watching, and we will work more in class.